Okay. So, I've been promising you guys some videos where I talk more about my experiences being sexually abused and all that good stuff. Sorry, there was a very distracting billboard. So anyways, this video, I don't really know what direction I want to take these videos in because I've already told my story. I'll put the link to the first of the 3 videos in the description for this, maybe if I remember. But a few months ago I uploaded 3 videos titled Learning to Overcome, and in those videos I talk about my experiences as someone who was sexually abused as a child. So I encourage you guys, if you like this video, if you like, or I guess like is not the right word, if you enjoy this video, if you appreciate it, and you want to know more backstory, feel free to go back and look at those 3 videos. No big deal. So anyways, the first thing that I really want to talk about, I think one of the most important things a person can do when they've experienced painful, harmful, crushing, devastating, awful things, because I'm not going to put it in a nice light, is to focus on their outlook and how they want to self-identify going forward. So I talked about before in a video, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent, and that we are in control of our own emotional well-being, our emotional existence. So there's typically, when you hear someone who suffered the experience of being abused physically, mentally, sexually, they will always refer to themselves in one of 2 ways. Either they say, I'm a victim of this, or I am a survivor of this. And I think that victim versus survivor mentality is really, really, really important in moving forward with your life. When we think of someone who is a victim of something, a victim is someone who has succumbed and who has been beaten by an adversary, by something. If somebody, my grandma had cancer and passed away last year, she became a victim of cancer. Cancer defeated her. She lost that battle. So when someone says, I'm a victim of sexual abuse, I'm a victim of abuse in general, then they are putting themselves in that victim mentality. They are putting themselves in a position of having lost, that they are no longer in control, they no longer have any power, because all the power goes to whoever or whatever put them in that position. So they are a victim, and they no longer are in control of their own emotional well-being or their lives or their futures. A victim is someone who has, I don't really know how to, the connection that I want to make, I know isn't a good one, so I'm not going to make it. But a victim is somebody who has no future. A victim is somebody who has they don't have the ability to move forward. They are forever going to be stuck and trapped in this victim mentality that they have been hurt, they've been wronged, and there's nothing they can do about it, and it is going to affect them in a negative way for their entire lives. Clearly, that's a damaging and harmful way to think, versus the survivor mentality. The survivor mentality is, I have experienced something tragic and awful. I was in an accident. I was abused. I had a disease that I do not have any longer. You're a survivor. That same thing occurred to you that happened to the other person with a victim mentality, but instead of saying, it has won, it has defeated me, I am now crushed, you're saying, I crushed it. I told that experience that I'm going to win. And I think that's really important, because when you take control of, again, your own emotional well-being, your own future, your own life, then whatever it was that hurt you can't hurt you anymore. You're a survivor. You're a fighter. You are a warrior. You are not going to back down. Did life take shots at you? Hell yes. Were you hurt? Hell yes. Did it have a very negative, damaging impact on aspects of your life? I bet it did. Was it difficult to overcome it? Maybe you still haven't overcome it. You can be a survivor who still struggles. No one says, as a victim, I almost said it, as somebody who experienced a lot of sexual abuse as a youth, no, I don't. I still struggle, sometimes frequently. There are different times of the year, different situations where, there are some days where I just wake up and it's the first thing on my mind. There are some days where I have dreams where the individual who abused me is in my dreams. And I wake up and that affects me. So I am still affected by what happened to me. Those experiences, as awful as they were, have also helped shaped me into who I am now. By all means, I wouldn't say I'm glad that they happened or I am grateful that they happened, but I'm grateful for the way I have been able to overcome them, the way that I've been able to work through them to continue moving forward with my life, because it is my life. It's not my abuser's life. I am not the property, the physical property or the mental or emotional property of the person who abused me. And if I just exist in this victim mentality of things happen to me and I can't control them, I'm going to lay down and just give up and succumb to, these experiences, these things that happen to me, then I no longer have any autonomy as a person. All of the power has gone to somebody else. And that's unacceptable. I want to live my life. I want to be myself. And so I think it's really important just to shift the way that we think. Instead of thinking about ourselves as victims of circumstance, as victims of the universe, as victims of other people's treatments and actions towards us, survive those things. Don't be a victim. Don't let it kill you. Don't let it destroy you. Survive them. Climb out of the wreckage, climb out of the rubble, and be stronger and be better. Learn and grow. Adapt and work through it. So that's the first thing that I really wanted to talk about, is this, how we see ourselves as someone who has experienced some kind of trauma or abuse or generally negative experiences, is shifting our mindset from being a victim of something to being a survivor of something. So I want you guys now to go think about it. Think about what areas of your life do you look at yourself and see yourself as a victim of, and how can you shift that to thinking of yourself instead as a survivor? Because you are a survivor in more ways than you know. Love you guys. Have the best day ever.